Welcome, I'm your host, Malcolm Gallagher. From our BizVision studios in the UK, you're watching the Leadership Matters show on the BVTV network. During these challenging times, I'm like a moth to a flame when I hear good business news. And that good business news is even better when it comes from someone I've interviewed before and truly admire. Ormonde Jayne Perfumery is independently owned by perfumer and founder Linda Pilkington. With a boutique in Mayfair and 200 points of sale worldwide, Ormonde Jayne has 33 employees in Manchester and London. It sells luxury niche perfumes and scented candles, which are manufactured and packaged from its own studio in Kent. Now, earlier in 2020, I video interviewed Linda and wanted to see how she'd successfully adapted her business in this uncertain time. And it is an uncertain time for retail. So let's meet Linda Pilkington. Hello again, Linda.
Hello, Malcolm. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. And even happy to see you. And guess what? It's sun shining here in Northumberland today. Well, it must be because you're here, right?
That's very kind. We've got patchy weather, bits of blue sky, but I'm quite hopeful it's going to stay dry, so it's going to be good.
Oh, that's great. Well, that's Kent, of course. Linda, it's great to see you again. How's the pandemic affected your trading and what have you done about it? I hear some good news is coming from Ormonde Jayne.
Well, yes, no, we've actually managed to ride the storm so far. The good news is we didn't have to make anybody redundant. In fact, we were hiring. So we've taken on some new people to work at the studio in Kent, which is very positive. The candle sales are up. Obviously, it's coming into Christmas. And so internet sales are up. Personally, I'm feeling quite confident about the business. I think there's a lot to be confident about now. The company stood the test of time. We've been through quite a lot over the last 20 years. I'm very happy about this vaccine because I really feel that come spring 2021, I really think that life will start getting back to normal. I think the COVID-19 would be like the flu jab. We've got to have a jab. I think it's here to stay, but I think it will be managed by jab. So I feel quite confident in so much the sales are up, we're hiring people, we've got a vaccine, and it's almost Christmas.
Yeah.
So, woohoo!
Yeah, great, good news. And look, I know you're very much a caring person. How have you gone about keeping your team safe in these challenging times?
Well, obviously, it's in my favor to keep everybody safe. So I also, we have a policy at Ormonde Jayne that's all year round, way before this pandemic. And that was to be a company that listens. And so if people were having an off day or they had a problem and they just said, look, I've had a bad weekend, I've got this situation with their, family, children, whatever, we always say, take the day off. It's fine. Take time, because it's better for them to come back with a good frame of mind. Concerning the pandemic, everybody's got their own kit on their desk. We've kept everybody 3 meters apart. When they arrive at work, they all get their temperature taken with the machine. And then they wash their hands, and then they go to their workstation and they have a box. And in the box, there's a mask, a clean mask every day, hand sanitizer. They don't have to wear a mask when they're at their own station. But if they get up to go to the bathroom, lunch, cup of coffee, they have to put their mask on. So we're keeping everybody, at that level. If anybody says, okay, one of my children at school has been sent home because somebody in their class was diagnosed with COVID, then we say to them, if you want to self-isolate at home, then please do. Take your temperature each day, keep us informed. So we've had a few people that have had time off because of it. And we, that's what we have to do. We're there for them, and we don't want them to bring anything into the workplace. So we just, shoulder on through. And I have to say that when we have been, maybe 1 or 2 people down because of that, everybody else has stepped up and said, we'll do overtime. So it's been great. You know what I mean? So we've stayed on top of everything. So we manage.
More than that, you're just a great example of a caring company. Look, I was intrigued to hear about your innovative Discover Lab, and your new Zoom consultation offering. Well, here we are together on Zoom, so tell us about it.
It's great. So obviously through the pandemic, we're closed down. We're not seeing anybody, not seeing our clients, not seeing our partners. And you want to be in front of people and talk to them. I got used to Zoom, and then we came up with the idea Autozoom, which is instead of eau de parfum, Autozoom. So we have been very successful in that field. I mean, just yesterday or the day before yesterday, about 3 days ago, I had 17 Zooms from all around the world. And this was like real time. But these are clients. So I am actually giving a perfume consultation to people that are Ormonde Jayne clients in Hong Kong, California, Malaysia, UK, all over the world. You know, from literally, I kicked off at 7:45 in the morning, and the last Zoom was 9:40 at night in California because they were 8 hours behind me. I did say to Sarah, enough already, too much. Next time, can we just keep it 9 till 6 so I can just have a little bit more of a normal. But so it's Autozoom, and it's fantastic. It's kept the business alive. It keeps my customers inside. You know, we're in real time together, chatting about perfume, and I think they like it. We like it, so it's worked really well. So it's here to stay. We are going to continue with Autozoom even when the pandemic's over. We're going to do perfume consultations online with people all over the world, in Africa, in India. It's great. It's something to it's a good innovation out of this pandemic. You know, we've come up with a new idea.
It's a brilliant innovation. And I guess, you know, those people that you've done the one-to-ones with, how many people will they tell, you know, bragging about it, especially in America, where, you know, I'm in every day in America, and they love the humble brag, as they call it.
Yes, yeah. Well, what we do is we sell this little box called the Discovery Lab.
Yeah.
And they can pick 7 perfumes, 2 mils in a little box. So what they do is they open their box live with me. So they take out the perfume and they say, well, I've got the Taif perfume. And then I discuss the Taif perfume with them. I tell them how to wear it, the best way to understand about a perfume, how to experiment with the perfume. I give them good advice and say, look, you can't try 7 perfumes in one day. Just do one at a time in the morning, when you've had your morning shower, before you've corrupted your sense of smell with breakfast and coffee, and just wear 1 perfume per day and keep it in your pocket, make notes, and then you'll soon be able to make an informed decision on what's your best perfume, which one suits you best. And it works fantastically. They love it. I love it. And, you know, it feeds me as well. It gives me a sense of vitality.
Yeah. Actually talking to your customers. I mean, that's what it's all about in the end, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's great. You know, I'm talking to people in Africa and India and Malaysia. It's fantastic.
Yes. Yeah. I'll beat you next week. I'm in Bali.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Look, I know from our last meeting that you are a very thoughtful researcher for your products. Has any of your new range been influenced by what's happening in the world today?
It definitely has. So I bought, my husband bought me a book called The Silk Road by Peter Frankopan, and it was very interesting. It was a real education for me. What I had learned, you know, in school about, you know, Europe, Henry VIII, Battle of Hastings and all of that. I had no idea what was going on in China on the other side of the world, and they were bringing us mathematics and gunpowder and this, you know, silk, you know, and all this. So I got an education from this book, and I decided to look into making a collection of perfumes to embrace East meets West. And through, you know, learning about these perfumes, learning about these cultures, exactly, you know, in depth, what they brought to the party, what they brought to us. You know, I think the Europeans think that you know, we're so sophisticated and we're so ahead of everything, but they were far more sophisticated than we were. And of course, I've translated this. You know, I have trained all the staff, and I've trained everybody around the world about the Silk Road. I've absolutely, you know, shown this book, and I said it's a true education. You need to read it, and I think it brings, you know, all the world together for a better understanding. You know, how our contribution from all levels, from all people, from all 4 corners of the earth. I think
Yeah.
that's important.
I think that's a great example of what we call consciousness, and the conscious business, the conscious leader will be the successful leader. But I also like the fact that, you're never stopping learning. I've probably said that incorrectly, but you never stop learning. Look, we're alike in our businesses in that we're proud of our Britishness, again, if that's a word. We reach out across the globe with our shows from our UK studios and carry our strapline, created in the UK. Tell us more about your own British orientation and your focus on British craftsmanship. How important to you is that British emphasis?
It is very important to me for a number of reasons. There's no, I don't have any political affiliations here at all. But, for me, we've been through the pandemic and we've all pulled together as a country the best we can. We've got Brexit. So again, we're pulling through together. I think if you really value your country and you really value everything that we're doing for each other, you want to buy British, and not because you're waving a Brexit flag, but purely because you want to understand what we've got to offer in our own country. It's just like this new way of thinking. People want traceability as well. Like nowadays, 20 years ago, if you went to the supermarket, you bought your meat, you were never interested where it came from. You didn't think, oh, this has been flown in from this country. Nowadays, people want to know where was this leg of lamb come from? Which part of England? What's the name of the farm? And it's the same in perfumery. They want traceability. So I think if they know that this has been made in Kent, we're very caring. We take care of our staff. There's no abuse going on. We're very open. We embrace diversity. And I think then that British craftsmanship and being British, the fact that you can read about where it comes from, who's making it, and it's bona fide, I think that is the art, that's what British is all about. You can trace your perfume, how it's made, where the bottles come from, where the oils come from, who's making it, just as much as you can trace your leg of lamb, what's the name of the farm, who's the farmer. And that's how it is today. We want traceability, accountability. You don't want, like you hear about all these terrible things of fashion houses where, the people that are working in the fashion houses are paid so poorly. And, it's shocking and people get shocked by it.
Yeah.
But it's good that people report it because everybody has a responsibility. And I think being British, you have to say, okay, we are responsible for everything we do. And this is who we are. And we give it our best shot. We do the best we can. It's good craftsmanship. And you can, it's there.
Yeah. Now, just before we move on to the next question, I just want to remind my viewers and the listeners of your URL, which is on the screen behind me, particularly for all those wealthy viewers that we've got in Beverly Hills at the moment. It's ormondejayne.com. And let me just spell that out for the listeners. Ormonde is ORMONDE. And Jayne is JAYNE, ormondejayne.com. And for viewers, you'll have written that down, won't you? And you'll be onto the website soon to find more about the brilliant perfumes and the British brilliant perfumes. Look, last time we met, I felt that Ormonde Jayne was an agile and adaptive business.
Yeah.
So what are the key agile examples that you've taken recently then?
Well, we've had to be agile, and that's the beauty of a small privately owned business. We can literally make a decision very fast and talk about it and implement it in the same hour. There's no, we're not going into you've got to have another board meeting. We're going to have to wait. So we are very light on our toes and we are very agile. And I think also what I was talking about before, the Autozoom. So, you're in lockdown, you're not seeing your clients. How can we see our clients? Okay, let's think about it. Okay, Zoom. But can we see it? But we use Zoom at the beginning for press and for perfume bloggers and for journalists. But then, of course, you think to yourself, what about the clients? What about doing a consultation online? And what should we call it? Order Zoom. Okay, let's do it. And, within 24 hours, we're chatting to people, to our clients. We're saying to people, would you like to buy a little discovery box of the perfumes? And unbox it and smell it for the first time with the perfumer, with the company owner. Well, of course, people love that. So yeah, we're very light on our toes, and we're constantly saying, what can we do next? What can we do better? Got to stay innovative and quick to survive.
Yeah, and I must tell you, by the way, before we move on, that you are our 250th interviewee since lockdown started in March. So I can't pass the champagne through the thing, but thank you very much indeed for being our 250th, and you will be part of our 250 Fest, which starts next week, where we're celebrating meeting dynamic people like yourself. Now, for the thousands of
congratulations,
leaders. Oh, thank you. Well, to you, yeah, to
that
you
tells
too.
You how hard you've been working. You must be doing 2 or 3 Zooms a day all over the world. Yeah. You're as busy as me.
Just like you, yes, doing Australia in the morning and LA in the evening, and wondering where you are in the world. For the thousands of leaders that are watching this, what do you believe are the 3 key new leadership skills needed to keep moving a business forward in this, what I'm calling, altered world?
Yeah, well, I'm a very upbeat person, so I always think to myself, I have to stay positive. I am a positive person, and I like to project that to my team. If I stay upbeat, then I can lead my team. And then I often meet up, like I go down to Kent, get the team around me, and I tell them, this is what we're going to be doing in the next quarter. These are my ideas, and this is how we're going to do it. And they love that. And then I tell them how great we performed in the last quarter, and I praise them for making it happen. So I think staying positive and keeping your team positive and leading your team is essential to be a leader if you're going to, head a company. I think also empathy is extremely important, because not everybody is lucky. Not everybody has a great life. A lot of people struggle. I'm selling luxury perfume. There's lots of people that can't afford a bottle of luxury perfume. They want to feed their children, which I fully get. So I think it's important to be a good listener, to listen to people, to see what's going out there in the world, and not just like living in your little ivory tower, and thinking we're making luxury perfume, we are okay. You have to say, how is everybody else? What can we do for anybody else? Can we give to charity? Can we do something? Can we help people? So we have, I think, to stay positive and to have empathy. And I think also you have to be innovative. You've got to be one step ahead of the game. You can't just say, here's a bottle of perfume. It's very nice. Please buy it. So, when we reopened our boutique a few years ago, we had a big renovation. It was like, well, we've got to change how we serve people as well. We can't just say, we've got this lovely new counters and lovely new lighting. So we talked about retail experiences. What can we do for the client to make that, they've made the effort to come to our boutique. They've come through the door, through the hustle and bustle of London. So as far as I'm concerned, anybody who's done all that to come to my boutique is a VIP. And everybody gets treated like a VIP. And we offer all sorts of different services that they can experience when they come in. So I think stay positive, lead your team, show empathy for people around you and for the rest of the world, and be a good listener, and be innovative, so that you're constantly reinventing different ways that you can make the customer feel special.
Now, viewers, I bet you'll watch that a few times, and don't forget to pass the video on to colleagues, or to recommend to, because there were some great lessons there. Great lessons from Linda. Now, another challenge, though, Linda, on the near horizon in the UK is Brexit.
Yes.
Or is it an opportunity? How do you think Brexit will impact Ormonde Jayne, and how do you intend to manage it, deal or no deal?
Well, I mean, I've been following it. As we go along, I get all the Brexit updates sent to me all the time. I've had to obviously see what's my legal obligation. I think I've done what I'm obliged to do. I had to get this number, EORI number, this, I've done all that. I had to change my labeling, which I've done. I think come January the 1st, it's going to be a bumpy ride, no matter what, because I can't believe for one moment it's going to be a smooth transition. We have an obligation. We have things called a portal. All our formulations and everything we do has to be uploaded onto a portal. Our portal is the European Union. We don't have a British portal. So come January the 1st, I have to upload my whole company onto the UK portal. I'm thinking at the same time, everybody else is going to be doing this. There's a possibility it could crash.
Yes.
There is a possibility that, you know, I can't upload everything I need to upload on January the 1st because there's a bit of mayhem. But I think it's perfectly normal. I think it's going to be a bumpy ride, but ultimately we will iron out all the bumps and it's going to be fine. I've had to get a European address to put onto all my packaging. I've got the European address. I've spoken to the people. I've explained to the people what the company's all about. I've given them a training program, and they've got a little box of tricks. So what happens if somebody in Europe wants to know or has a question about my perfume, there's a postcode, and they can log onto that postcode and phone that number. And these people have a box that says Ormonde Jayne, and when they open it, it's got everything that they need to know about to answer it. So we've done all that. We've done everything we can. But I think, like one of the politicians said, I can't remember which one, he said it's a bit like moving house. I think it was Michael Gove. He said it's like when you move house, it's a bumpy ride, but ultimately you're in a nicer house at the end of it. So let's see. I'm trying to be very positive about it. And, you know, when I go to Europe next year, I'll do the trade show in Milan. And, you know, I'm going to embrace all my European cousins. I mean, I love them. I love Europe. I love it when I meet up with them. So, you know, we're going to celebrate and, you know, and break bread together. And it's going to be fine. I'm absolutely quite positive about that.
I think that you've done things. You've done it correctly. There are thousands of businesses who haven't done anything about it. Those are the ones who are going to have the problem, I think. But what I've also seen in these 250 plus interviews with CEOs around the world is the desire for British products and that Britishness. And people want to pay for that British quality.
I think so. Yeah, people absolutely love that aspect to our company. We've been through a lot in the last 20 years. We've been through, you know, 2008 crash. I've been through 300% rent increase on my boutique. You know, 300%. Can you imagine how you've suddenly got to adapt your figures and think, what can we do to smooth this out? So I think when you've been through all this and Brexit, you've got to have you've got to sail your ship, and you've got to be as ready as you can be, and you've got to stay up to date with the news. And like you say, people do like British products. The Europeans love, you know, and like to trade with us, and we like to trade with them. So, you know, we'll get on with it.
Yeah, too true. Look, one thing I like about you is that you pivoted some years ago to be gender free. How's that working for you, especially in these new socially conscious, equality focused times?
Well, it worked out really well. The gender free aspect to our business came in 2005. So it's over 15 years ago. It came through experience with me having the perfume categorized into male and female. And then we had a bit of a bumpy situation with a couple of male customers who had picked perfumes. They liked them, they bought them, went online and saw that that perfume was under feminine. Very cross with me, phoned up, complained. And of course, you've got to listen to your customers. And I said, you know what, you've got a very good point here. Who am I to say what's male or female? Again, being agile, got on the phone to my internet web designer, and at home, you know, in the evening, I said, could you do me a favor? Could you take down the male and female and just put it all under, at the moment, put it under unisex? I don't particularly like that word, but I'll come up with something better. And then like 3 weeks later, I came up with gender free. So it worked very well for us, in so much as, like, I didn't think I had the right to tell people, you know, what perfumes they would like. And it's carried on through. And as you can see today, you know, it's worked extremely well. Actually, the added bonus was it increased our sales, which wasn't the motive. It was the fact that because we had 4 male perfumes and the rest were slightly more floral. When I made them gender free, what's interesting is that our boutique in Bond Street, 50% of the clients that come through the door are male. And now that we're not saying this is male and this is female, we let them decide for themselves. We don't pigeonhole them into a gender. So it actually did us a favor at the same time, which wasn't the intention. The intention was not to offend anybody.
Yeah, so one for my wife and one for myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
exactly.
I could think of something else naughty, but never mind. We'll just move on from that. Listen, Linda, it's your sell to the world time with it's completely free. 30-second advert as to why my viewers around the world should put Ormonde Jayne on top of their gift list. Your go.
Okay, so yesterday we had our virtual Ormonde Jayne Christmas party that we normally have every year at the boutique. But yesterday we had a virtual day and we broke all record sales in 20 years. We had the busiest shopping day, even though it wasn't a physical party. And the best thing about it was yesterday, I had people purchasing, saying, hi, Linda. These are people I served 20 years ago that are still customers today. And also I had people saying, I saw you on Instagram. I don't buy your perfume. I don't know you. Could I also join in this virtual party? And can I also have the discount? And I said, of course you can. Welcome. Would you like me to engrave your name on the overcap, as a special Christmas present? And they were like, wow, yes, please. That's amazing. And I know that all these people will remain loyal to us. So it's been a great 20 years. We've embraced Instagram. We've embraced all aspects. We've stayed modern. But yesterday we broke all record sales and I was serving people that I served 20 years ago when we first opened, which is great news for me. It makes me feel happy.
Yes. Yeah.
Linda
Pilkington of Ormonde Jayne. It has been great meeting you again. And I'm so delighted that Ormonde Jayne and your team are going from strength to strength. Thanks for a great interview.
And thanks, Malcolm. Congratulations on your 250 this year. Well done, you. You're sort of like in the Joe Wicks League now. So thanks a lot. If I don't see you, have a really good Christmas and stay well. And thank you very much.
And the same to you and all your team.